Stephen, I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing terrific. Season's on its way. That's what we want. Get this thing going.
Coming into this season, Coach, how are you feeling about these Sixers? Just looking at your roster right now, do you view yourselves as a contender? Obviously, you always think you've got work to do, but how do you view this team coming into this season?
Yeah, I think we are. I think we're one of a bunch of teams in the East. The East is tough. There's a lot of good teams here, but we feel like we're one of them. I think, when people talk about our team, they always start with Ben and Joel, and they really should. And they always say this, that they haven't won. And I say, well, I can name a bunch of duels that haven't won. But with our youth, the yet word should be put on the end of that sentence. And that's what I tell our guys. We haven't won yet. And so we're on that journey just like a bunch of other teams are.
I heard you say something recently that I thought was blasphemous. I think that Ben Simmons is elite. This dude is a jump shot away from being LeBron James 2.0. That's how gifted I think he is. But not only is he not perceived as being a shooter, he doesn't even attempt to shoot. And Doc Rivers was quoted as saying, that's not that important. First of all, was that quote accurate? Did you say that? And if so, why on earth would you say that?
Because I really believe that. Like, it's important in the long run. Let's be honest. But I want Ben Simmons to play free. I don't want him to play thinking about shooting a jump shot. I want him to play downhill, get in the paint, make plays, get to the free throw line, something that no one's ever told him. Like, get to the line as much as possible, 10 times a game if you can get there. And then your shot will come. But don't go into games. Don't drive to the arena thinking about, man, I need to make a three tonight. No, you don't. You need to play. I asked him a simple question, Stephen. I'll ask you. If we average 120 points this year, do you care where they're from, or do you care that we are efficient in doing it? And that's what I'm trying to tell Ben. I think naturally those shots will come, and he works on them every day. But I don't want him walking in the game thinking about shooting a jump shot.
But he's attempted 24 three-pointers in his entire career. You know the game better than me. You've been coaching on an elite level all of these years. And even though I think you're absolutely right about what may transpire in the regular season, come postseason time, if you're no threat from the perimeter, that's 4-on-5 basketball on the offensive side of the floor. Am I not right about that?
Well, not when he has the ball. People forget I have Rondo. And we won a world championship with Rondo at the point guard. And early on, Rondo could shoot the ball, but Rondo didn't want to shoot the ball. And he still doesn't a lot. But Rondo is pretty effective in the playoffs. And I think Ben can be the same way.
Daryl Morey is the new president of basketball operations. You and I have spoken. It's obviously somebody you support wholeheartedly leading this organization because Daryl Morey's record speaks for itself as an executive in the NBA. But I'd be remiss, and let me preface my question by saying I am not asking you to comment about James Harden, okay? I'm not asking that question. You're not getting fined, Doc Rivers. I'm not asking you about James Harden, okay? But I will ask you this.
Messing around with you.
That's right. We're not getting you fined. We're not getting you fined. But I will ask you this question. There are people who look at the 76ers, teams like the 76ers, the Brooklyn Nets, they say, hey, they're a piece away from title contention. I know you're feeling good about this team. Do you feel this team can legitimately compete for a title as structured, or do you think there may be a move here or there that needs to be made?
I think we can as structured. Having said that, every team is going to keep looking, Stephen A. That's just what we do, and we have to. But I like our team the way it is right now, for sure.
Last question. As structured right now, I don't want to say championship or bust, but what defines success for you with this specific 76ers team this season?
That's a great question. For me, and my goals are higher than most people, and so you set yourself up. But, I want to win the East. And then if you win the East, then you want to win it all. But the first goal is to win the East. That's the only way you can get to the finals is by doing that. And I want our guys focused on that.
And you believe it's presently constructed, y'all can win the East with the current roster?
I do.
Doc, happy holidays. Good luck this upcoming season. And you will see me. So I'll see you soon.
Well, I see you everywhere, Stephen A., even on General Hospital. My goodness, everywhere.
I'm working on it, Coach. I'm trying to be a Renaissance man.
What should LeBron, Luka, Giannis, and other stars want from Santa for Christmas? Our Christmas Day wish list is coming up. 30 minutes commercial free, taking you up to Heat and Pelicans at noon. There's Lonzo warming up in Miami, as you just heard, taking on the Heat. That one right after us, noon Eastern, on ESPN.
Opposed to L.A. He don't have Anthony Davis. He ain't in the second largest state in the United States of America, second largest market. I'm sorry. He ain't wearing the purple and gold. He doesn't have 17 championships as a backdrop. Okay, he don't have all of that. He's playing for the Dallas Mavericks. And who are the Dallas Mavericks without Luka Doncic? You got an injured Porzingis. You got Dorian Finney-Smith. You got Tim Hardaway. Okay, you got Josh Richardson there now. No disrespect to them, because we know that they can play and they're going to be in the playoffs. Very formidable guys, good dudes. And I love me that Tim Hardaway Jr. because I love his daddy. But let me tell you something right now. The bottom line is, without Luka, we ain't paying attention to anything about the Dallas Mavericks but Mark Cuban. And he's on Shark Tank. So the bottom line is, Luka is more valuable because he's the one that single-handedly has this entire franchise relevant. That's why we got to go with Luka in this particular situation with this particular question.
Well, a lot of times we say who's more valuable to their team, and we all know one guy is better, and that's LeBron. What we're really asking is who's on the lesser team. But I think it's more than that. When you say who's more valuable to their team, Luka or LeBron, I think LeBron is more valuable to his team. And I'll tell you why, Stephen A. You're right that if you take Luka away from the Mavs, like, he gets them closer to a title, right? Or to the playoffs, or to winning a playoff series by himself, maybe, you could argue, because there's less around him. Although when Porzingis gets back, that'll change too. But I think there's something bigger than that. The question is, who gets you to the championship, to the promised land? If you put Luka on the Lakers and took LeBron off, I don't know that we'd all be saying, yes, the Lakers are definitely going to win the championship. But if you put LeBron on the Mavs and gave him Porzingis, maybe they would be title favorites. You know, this comes down to the LeBron. It happens in the LeBron-Jordan debate, too. I think LeBron by himself gets a team closer to a title than Jordan by himself. But if you give Jordan something and you give LeBron something, yeah, right. But if you give them both stuff, Jordan will take you there every single time, right? That's who LeBron is in this NBA. He's the Jordan of this NBA. Whenever LeBron has a reasonable chance to win the title, he either does or gets very close. You know, like he goes 6 games with Dellavedova as his second best player. He beats the 73-win Warriors team. If you add KD to the Warriors, nothing he can do or anyone can do. But LeBron gives you that premium over everyone else, including the Lakers, that Luka just doesn't give you. LeBron goes to the Mavs, you think maybe they could win it this year. Luka goes to the Lakers, suddenly you're like, ooh, a lot of teams in the West can compete. That premium, not just being great, not just doing more with less, but when you have something, turning it into championships, makes LeBron the most valuable to his team.
Well, I definitely hear where you're coming from, and I'm glad that you came to the party, albeit a bit too late, when you're recognizing LeBron as the best in the world and his extreme value. But let's take into consideration the specificity of the question that we're addressing here, Max Kellerman. The fact of the matter is, when we talk about Luka, we ain't just talking about basketball. When we talk about LeBron and Luka, we ain't just talking about basketball. Luka's an international icon right now. Luka ain't from the United States of America. He is an international icon, which is why Mark Cuban just brought up his cachet with social media. Because the bottom line is, when you look at the Dallas Mavericks, this guy has got them on the map. You realize how much money Luka is making for the Dallas Mavs franchise? You probably, I mean, listen, I don't care whether it's Lithuania, Serbia, Morocco, I don't give a damn where it's from. Everybody across the world knows something or two about the Mavs jersey right now and the Mavs franchise. all because of Luka. So let's take that into consideration, along with him being 21 years of age, along with him being white. Let's bring that up too. The brother's got a lot of cachet, and I'm talking about overall value. I'm looking at him right now, and I'm saying this kid right here is something special, and we can't ignore that.
Well, I just looked up Luka while you